Hey guys, welcome back to another review, and today I figured we'd take a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Hot Rod. So here he is in his car mode, and I gotta say, I actually really like his car mode. It looks very nice. It's very kind of wide, and it's also very flat. So I mean, it kind of looks like the sports car that he was in the show or in the movie. So, but I do think it looks really nice. I love the flame work on the front here. I think it's really good, and I think it looks pretty dang great. And I think it's a lot better than what we normally get with hot rods, so I really do like that. Of course, you got some nice silver here for the exhaust pipes, which looks very nice. You got the big yellow spoiler in the back, and you got some orange bits here, and then some silver here for the engine block. And overall, I think it looks very nice. Here's the underside. You just have his chest and his legs, and then his arms on the side here. He does, I don't know, I think this is kind of a common problem where these panels don't like to sit flush. At least they don't on mine. And I mean, this kind of whole area doesn't exactly like to sit in with itself. And you can see it's the same thing on this side. So I mean, from like the top view, it looks fine, but it's still kind of like, you know, it's there. So that is kind of unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. And you do have some silver here for the rims on the front wheels. You don't have it on the back, but you do in the front. So, as far as accessories go, he does come with two guns. They're the guns that he had in G1. So, I mean, they're all done in silver with red for the handle. So, and then here's his other one. I know they don't combine to form his, I think it was called like his photon rifle or something. I don't remember, but you can store these. So there's slots here on the engine block, and you just take them and just kind of take the sides and slide them in like that. And then you can do the same thing with this gun. So you can have kind of, you know, guns coming out of the engine block. So you can have that going on. And you can do the same thing with the two slots up here. So. And then, oops, I'm just gonna drop it. Come here, you. Yeah. And the other two accessories I want to talk about for now are these kind of, I guess you could call these plastic parts. You do get two of them, and what you can do with these is you just take them and you can plug them into the back here, and you can have kind of like there we go. Kind of plug them in, and you can have like a boosting effect. So you can have that if you want, which I think looks pretty cool. I'll talk about the other accessories when we get into robot mode. And speaking of which, I suppose we can get down to the transformation right now. So first thing that I do is come in here, kind of untab the arms from the back section here, kind of untab them from the sides as well, kind of bring them down, untab them, and then take this section here and kind of untab it from the back like so, and kind of bring that up and swing it around. And then you want to come back here, kind of untab the wheels from the legs, kind of bring them around. Then you can bring the leg, kind of bring that down. And you do the same thing on this side, just kind of bring it over and bring this down. Excuse me. And then you want to untab this section here, kind of swing this around, and then you want to take, you want to take the foot, fold it down, and then you want to take this section and collapse it into the leg, and then you have his leg all done. And you want to do the same thing on this side, take the foot, kind of fold that down, come in here, take this section, fold that in, so it's kind of, you know, it collapses into into that panel right there. And you just want to take it, collapse it into the leg, and you got his legs all done. And then you can take his waist and rotate it so it's facing the correct way. You want to then come up here, untab this front panel right here, kind of bring this forward, take these side sections, you want to fold these in. You then you can take the arms and rotate them so that they're facing forward. And word of warning, the joints, excuse me, his arm joints are very tight, so you can see as you're turning them, they do kind of bend the plastic, that yellow plastic in there. And it's not exactly the sturdiest of plastics, so what I would recommend doing is while you're rotating the arm for transformation, kind of grab hold right here and then rotate the arm, just because that is a very, very tight joint in there, at least on my copy anyways. And then, so that way you don't kind of end up snapping these. I mean, Yeah, so just kind of want to make sure that that doesn't happen. But again, at least that's a problem, or it's not really an issue, but just a word of warning on my copy at least. You then can take this front section and bring this, or you want to bring not this front section, but bring the back section. You can bring this down, and let me raise up the camera just a little bit. You can come in here and take his head and flip it out. You then want to take this section here, rotate it around, take this section, fold this down, tab that in. Then take this section, fold this down, and this will all kind of tab in, if I can get it. There we go. And you just want to take it, bring it up, and there's 2 tabs right here that'll tab into his chest right there, like so. So you have that going on. And then you want to take this section, and there is a tab right there that'll tab into the back right here. So there you have his back and chest all done. You want to come in here, take this section, flip this out. Want to take the exhaust pipe, rotate it around, and then take this section and kind of collapse it onto the back of his arm. Want to do the same thing on this side, kind of bring this around, and collapse it in. And there you have Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, fully transformed and in his robot mode. And I will admit, very nice looking robot mode. I'm not a fan of the character, because I don't really care for the character. But as far as the figure goes, I think he is a really great figure, and honestly probably one of the best, or the best Hot Rod figure that Hasbro's put out, in my opinion. But I think he does look very, very cool. So we're getting closer on his head sculpt. Very nice head sculpt. Looks, you know, very Hot Roddy. And you do have some nice blue in there for the eyes. So, and of course you got the nice flame work on the chest here, the Autobot symbol. And again, I do love the flames here. I think they're very, very nice, and probably one of the better flame designs for a Hot Rod figure. And you got some orange here that was in vehicle mode. And you got some new silver details that are revealed. And you do have some silver there for the head crest. Got orange for the legs. Now, a bunch of people complain about the yellow joints, because obviously his legs are orange and his joints are yellow. It doesn't really bother me. I kind of overlook it. I mean, yes, it is kind of an eyesore, but I mean, I'm used to my figures having issues, so that's the least of my problems. But overall, and he does have a very clean transformation. He tidies up very nicely, which I think is very, very great. So I'm glad that he looks clean from all sides. So as far as articulation goes, there is a ball joint at the head, so you can kind of do what you want with it. Can look side to side, and you can look up and you can look down. The arms, again, are on that very tight joint, which you can see in there. It bends that plastic as I'm bending it, so I try not to move his arms too much, but his arms can do a full 360. They can go in and out. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. He does have a wrist swivel, and his hands can open and close, which is very nice. And then he does have a waist swivel. The legs can go forward that far, they can go back that far, they can go out all the way. He does have a very, very tight thigh swivel. He does have a double joint at the knee, so you can get full range of movement. And then he does have a bit of an ankle pivot, and his feet can move up and they can move down slightly. So his posability, oh, and also he does have a kind of a butterfly joint in here too. So when his arm's down, it kind of doesn't really work all that well. You just get a little bit, but when you move his arm out, you can get like full butterfly jointage, so which is nice. So I mean, his posability is really great. I absolutely love his posability. So as far as features go, I'll get into his accessories in a little bit, but there are 2 things on the actual figure that he can do. His first thing is he does have a visor, which I think is pretty cool. So you just take his helmet, you just lift it up, and you kind of want to get in there with your fingernail and take that blue piece, kind of fold that out, and close his helmet. And they did give him his visor, which is pretty cool. I will admit, they didn't have to do that, but they did. So very, very nice in my opinion. And then the other thing, let me fold this back up. The other thing you can do is, I believe it's on this hand, but you can open up his arms, and on this arm there is a little kind of welding torch. You just take it, rotate it around, flip his arm back up, and you have his little welding torch that he used to fix a cup. So it's very cool in my opinion. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and I think it looks pretty dang cool. So as far as accessories go, though, again, you do get his 2 guns, and he can hold them like so. Kind of, let me get his gun in here. And he can hold them, and they are blast effect parts compatible, or as MGO likes to say, Bloosh compatible. But you can take his I guess fire effects parts, and you can plug them in, so you can have that going on. Or you can take any of the Siege or Earthrise or Kingdom, blast effects, and you can plug them in. So that's very nice. I like how they did that. The other accessory you get is you do get him to stand. You do get his buzzsaw, which is pretty cool, and it does spin, and it's just done all in silver. So, but yes, it does spin, which is nice. And how that works is kind of the same thing with the welding torch. You just take this panel, rotate this down, rotate his hand around, and rotate that in, and then kind of it brings out a post, and then there's just a port in there, and you take it, you plug it in, and he has his buzzsaw, which again I think is pretty cool. I mean, it's nice, looks pretty good. So, oh, and you can also take the let me fold his hands back out. Come on, get out. Thank you. You can take the his blast effect parts, and you can plug them into these sides here, so you can have, if I can get him in. There we go. There we go. So you can have him kind of shooting like that, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that they did that. And that's where my tongue just decides to not want to work today. But I am glad that they did that. And then the last couple accessories you get is you do get a Matrix of Leadership, which looks like every other Matrix of Leadership that you get with any other of these figures. But, I mean, it looks nice. Looks like a Matrix. And you also get a Matrix effects part, which looks pretty dang cool. And of course you can just take this and it just kind of plugs in to the side of the Matrix here. So you just take it, kind of plug it in like so. So you have that, and then of course you can have Hot Rod hold it, which is why his hands open and close. So kind of get him open, get his hands open, kind of get him all situated, and kind of close his hands around it. If I can get it. Come on. Come on. So you can have this going on if you want, which is pretty cool, I will admit. You can't store it in his chest. I mean, you can kind of do it. It's kind of cheating, but there is no actual way to store it like there is on the Kingdom Rodimus. But if you really wanted to, I did figure out, if you just unpeg this back panel, you literally can just take the Matrix and throw it in there and close it up, and it closes up just fine. If you really wanted to store it, you can, but it's not like official storage, so that's just something that I kind of found. So yeah, I'm gonna get him all standing up and situated. So for a size comparison, oops, or not, we'll just fall over. Come on, come on, stand, stand, please, please, please stand. For size comparison, here we have Earthrise Optimus Prime. You know, kind of, you kind of murdered him, but there's Earthrise Prime. Well, he didn't murder him, but yeah, we're not going to get into that. Here's Kingdom Rodimus, so you can kind of see how they look together. So you can kind of see, you know, Hot Rod, and then what he turns into. So they look nice together. I do like how you can kind of see what he was and then what he became. So they look nice. And then of course here we have Kingdom Galvatron. So, and again, I think they look really good together. So yeah, as far as Hot Rod goes, he's pretty cool, but I do have one thing to talk about: his price point. He's $30, and it's basically $30 for a deluxe. But it's one of those cases of, you know, you have all of this crap, which artificially inflates the price to be the $30, at least in the US. So, I mean, And it's not necessarily just the accessories. His engineering is also really good too. It is more advanced than like a deluxe's engineering, like a typical deluxe. I mean, you got opening hands, you have his torch and the visor, and just, you know, the transformation is more complex. Is it worth $30? I mean that's kind of your personal preference. I mean, I was fine paying $30 for it, but I can see the complaint where, again, all the accessories, because I mean, like, you're basically paying an extra $10 for all of this stuff here, and maybe some parts of the engineering, and I mean, I think it's worth it, but at the same time, it's one of those things that, yeah, I'm kind of sick and tired of them just kind of, you know, throwing in random ass accessories and making the price go up. But I mean, at least these accessories here, they all actually kind of make sense. So I guess I can't complain too much. But as far as the figure goes, I really do like the figure, and I think he is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best, or the best hot rod figure that Hasbro's put out, in my opinion. But and I do recommend it, so if you can find one, I'd say get one. But that's going to be about it for the review. I do have an Instagram, and I'll leave the @ in the description. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.